Hello everyone, my name is Desi DeSimone. I designed this picture frame jig for the wood shop. It's an excellent jig, very accurate. It takes away from not doing it on a chop saw, which many people were doing before. Doing it on a chop saw created a lot of problems. You never got the angle proper. You had to do various things to get it proper. You either had to go on a sand it a little bit so it fits perfectly. Or on the, we have a slicer that can do it also. And that's okay, but it meant a lot of work. This here is very fast, very accurate, and I'm going to demonstrate exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make sure that your area is clean. Both the jig, along the fence, along the sides, the tracks where the jig fits in. The jig itself can fit nicely into the tracks. It uses only 2 table saws. Number 10 and 11. These 2 table saws are the only 2 table saws to be used with this jig. Okay? Now, the jig can't come out of the track. It has a thing in there so it can't rock out of the track. It's a piece of metal that holds it in place so it can't get out of the track. Make sure that your blade is perpendicular to the table saw as well. The next thing you want to do is you want to remove the plate, the saw blade guard. Move that out of the way. You do not have to remove the splitter here. We'll leave the splitter in place. The reason why we leave the splitter in place, because the jig can only go in so far. There's a stop in the back, and it can go on so far, and that's it. It stops. We don't have to worry about taking that out. Leave it right in there. Okay? I must stress also, make sure the tracks are clean. Make sure the jig is clean all around. It collects dust to leave it under one of the table saws. Just make sure everything's clean. The next thing you have to be concerned with is that, the instructions are here. We're going to have mentors that will be able to demonstrate how you're going to use this unit. We'll have all the members, all the mentors know how to use the unit. So if you have any problems, notify one of the mentors to help you with the jig. Okay? Now, I already prepared stock. I finished it nicely. I have a router bit that does this nice finishing here. I sprayed them and all that. And what I did is on the table saw, I made this rabbet. And the rabbet is a 1/4-inch rabbet. The jig is designed for 1/4-inch rabbet. If you're going to do grade a rabbet, like 3/8 rabbet, then you got to compensate like a 1/8 of an inch. You got to go in 1/8 of an inch. So if your picture frame is 8 1/2, you got to go in 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to be 8 1/4 instead of 8 1/2. Okay? Just keep that in mind, because I know some people have a habit of using 3/8 rabbet instead of 1/4 inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch rabbet. If they're doing that, then they got to compensate and go in. The jig is mainly made for 1/4 inch rabbet. Okay, and that's exactly what I've done with these materials for picture frame. Now, I have a picture already here that I'm going to do, and this picture, if I measure it, this picture measures 11 by 14. Okay? So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of my stock, 1/4-inch rabbet. I'm going to place the rabbet down toward the fence of the jig. Okay, always down. And out far enough where it's going to cut the piece on that angle. Now you could do 1 or 2 things. You can hold with your hand, not necessary, but you know, you could use this here to hold down if you're doing 2 at the same time. You can do 2 pieces at the same time by using this clamp. The only time this clamp is used when you're doing 2 pieces. Okay, I am ready to make my cuts. So what I said, the first thing you want to do is the rabbet has got to go down on the fence, against the fence. Down, not up, not this way, but down against the fence. Okay? And then we're going to make our first cut. Turn this on. Now after you make your cut, you turn the table saw off, move your little piece away, out of the way. You don't need that anymore. You can throw it away or whatever you place out of the way. Okay? Now you have your first angle here. The other thing you may want to do is get a little piece of sandpaper. We should get a little piece of sandpaper here. And just take a little bit of the burr off here. We want this to be very accurate. So any burrs are going to be a little bit, change the angle just a little bit. I mean, it's better to have these angles really fit tight, and they will once we have this all set. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to set the ruler up here for 11 inches. That's my first thing, so I set it for 11. The red mark has got to go right on 11. Can you see that red mark? Right on 11. Clamp this down, and that's it. Okay, I'm just going to sand a little bit of the burr away. Thank you. That's all. So now, all I have to do is put my piece in that angle there. Just like that. You can hold it in there. Just make sure your hands are not in the red area here. You can hold the jig from back here and go right in, because it can only go in so far. Like I said, there's a stop. It can go only in so far, and that's it. Okay? So now we're going to cut this piece. Okay, that's our one side. We're going to reproduce that same thing again. We put the rabbet down toward the fence, and we're going to cut that angle again. Always remove your scrap when this is out of the way. You don't want to be by the blade. You don't want the blade running. Okay? Again, we take this, put it on the angle here. That's it. And now we have our two top members. Now we're going to do the long members. Again, we take this here, cut the angle. Now we're going to do 14. So we bring this to 14 inches now. Red on 14. Right there. I mean, we're close enough. 14, if you're a 1/16, you're not going to see that too much. If it's that much, you got to cut your frame a little bit. No, I don't think so. But anyway, it should be pretty close. Okay. Here we go. Now we already changed our setting to 14 inches. We already cut the angle. Actually, I should cut this angle a little bit more because there's a little piece here. Let me redo this. You got to be careful of that. Make sure you cut right with the angle. There's a piece here left on, so I got to chop that away a little bit. Okay, that's good. Again, I should remove any sawdust you have or any little particles left on the wood after you cut it. Move that. Going again. Okay, we have one of the long pieces already done, and if we put this together, we should see that it should pretty much line up pretty good. Yeah, and we'll even see it better as we go along here. We do it all 4 pieces. So now I got to do the other long member. Again, I marked one of these 3/8 rabbit that I may demonstrate a 3/8 rabbit as well, but this is 1/4 inch rabbit. Again, cut our first angle. With this jig, you can make picture frames very fast, very accurate. So if you got 20 picture frames you want to do, you can probably do them in a half an hour. Anyway. Okay, so that's it. Now we have all 4 members made. And if we put this together, we'll see how good our flat surfaces here. These are the long members, these are the short members. Long members and short members. There you go. Very accurate. And to prove it, we're going to turn this upside down and see if my picture fits in there perfectly. I remove a burr from one of the pieces that I cut. This is my picture. By the way, you can get these here things in Walmart for your picture to make it look a little better. It's already cut for you and everything. They have different sizes. And I'm just going to see if it fits in there. Good. That's it. If it's all glued and everything together, it's perfect. It's going to be perfect. Okay, so that's basically how you can use the picture frame jig. Now, to put it together, there's several ways you can put this together. We have a unit here called the picture frame pinner. It can be utilized. It's a lockout tool. You have to see the manager or somebody to unlock it. And there's a video on it, how to use it as well. But again, get a hold of the mentor if you don't know how to use it, and he'll show you how to use it. It's not difficult. It's a matter of setting it up properly. Okay, that's one method. The other method, I've seen people use Craig screws, and they do that also to hold it in place. Another method is they use biscuits. Use a biscuit, a small biscuit, go in there, some glue. We have the picture frame clamps in the tool room. That after you put glue on it, you can put it in that frame thing, and it holds it till you're ready to use the pinner. So you can get a picture frame that's 36 inches long, 36 by 36, a pretty big picture frame. I have another clamp here, and that clamp is mainly used, I mean, you can use it on the shorter ones, but what it's nice to do is if you have a long frame, it could hold it in place for you on near close to the end here where you have your piece holding it back here. And it'll fit, your piece will fit very nicely in here. So when you, let me do this here. So if you have a piece, you just clamp it down in there, and that's it. It's not going to go anywhere. You know, it's going to be pretty solid. It stays right in there. That's it for this.